Hey, everybody. Welcome to BS session number 44. As you may be able to tell, everyone's abandoned me. We're supposed to have Aaron with Tactacam on today. We're supposed to have Chris, but unfortunately, he's experiencing some kind of personal issue that he needs to take care of tonight. I have no idea what it is. I hope everything's okay. Um, all that said, let's get into things.
But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it, which is a heat-seeking device.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Welcome to your weekly dose of BS, the Holistically Speaking podcast.
Well, guys, this is a little bit of a twist for me. We're supposed to have a guest, didn't show. Supposed to have a co-host, didn't show. And as anyone tuning in right now is a regular and knows me, knows that I can't carry on a conversation by myself. Anyway, let's go through some of the formalities. As always, we are brought to you tonight by EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta, building Canada's finest precision rifles. Commission a build today with emprifles.ca. Bolt Action Coffee, bringing specialty coffee to the precision shooting world. Order coffee and merchandise at boltactioncoffee.com. Call sign 66. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Book a course with them now at callsign66.ca. Hotel Engineering. Pick up a Canuck shotgun or Bergera rifle from your local distributor and tell them Phil sent you. Look them up at odellengineeringltd.com. Apex Optics. When you buy optics, precision comes standard. Find them at apexoptics.co. And grab yourself a Rival 4-32 rifle scope and get on the mailing list for more exciting products coming soon. Yeah, Rooster Solo tonight. Everybody abandoned me. May have been something I said. Ribstone Gunsmithing, craftsmanship done right. Contact Oscar at ribstonegunsmithing.ca and breathe life back into any firearm. The Shooting Edge in Calgary, Alberta. The Shooting Sports retail store with indoor range education and training, laser engraving, fine firearms, and much more. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and on their website at theshootingedge.com. And finally, March Scopes Canada. The Dion Optical Design line of rifle scopes has a scope for all your hunting and shooting needs. Find Doug and Niza at marchscopes.ca. So, bit of a bending. If I wasn't buying a boat, I'd join you. Well, go buy your boat and send us a picture. A bit of an exciting announcement today with call sign 66 and Bolt Action Coffee. They're putting on what they're calling the Last Bastion precision rifle match out by Penticton, BC, September 2nd and 3rd at the ProTech Rifle Training Facility. There'll be field and prop stages and maybe even some blind stages there at this match. Along with, at the end of each day, they plan on putting on a side match. It's a 1 mile challenge at the end of each of the 2 days of that match. That should be interesting. September 2nd and 3rd at the ProTech Rifle Training Facility out by Penticton, BC. Also look for announcements for call sign 66's property that they have down in southern Alberta. They've got what is described to me as a real nice property with facilities there to provide lodging and meals. So look for that. Find them on Instagram, call sign 66, their website, callsign66.ca. And just keep your eyes peeled for that. Registration will be coming up on Practice Score at some point soon. Rooster, are you shooting the gap grind this year? No, I'm afraid not. I think one trip out of the country per year is probably my max. And I've already been to SHOT Show, so we'll see. When is the gap grind? I think that's fairly quick, isn't it? Anyway, team bending versus BS podcast. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Yenzi, hey buddy, how are you? Did you want to come on the podcast with me? Oh wait, I'll answer that for you. No. Thanks for your support, man. Wayne Zylik, nice to see you here. Chris, take the blue pill. He described it as a personal emergency. Maybe he took 2 blue pills and created an emergency for himself. I really have no idea. It's possible though. No, but in all seriousness, I don't know what's going on. He didn't. We're good enough friends that he would tell me if I felt I needed to know, and he didn't tell me. So I'm sincerely hoping things are okay. Bending says September 12th to the 15th for the gap grind. Well, I'm going to tell you that that's not a possibility for us because Yenzi and I will be at King of 2 Miles, Canada at that time, I believe. Isn't that right, Jens? Is that the weekend? The weekend before that is Tactacam out by Toronto. And Chris is going to go to that. And I'm working, of course. Oh. Oh, camp internet. Sorry, guys. I'm way up north at work, and the internet is not always that great up here in camp. Anyway, yeah, I believe the weekend before the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is Tactacam out in Ontario, and then 8th, 9th, and 10th is King of 2 Miles for us. Oh, sorry, Jens is correcting me. September 15th to 17th is King of 2 Miles. That means that 8th, 9th, and 10th is Tactacam out by Toronto. Okay, what do we got here? Camp Steak Night and BS podcast. These are my Fridays now. I'm so sorry, Mike. What, were you a real dick in a past life? This is what karma has brought to you. Bending, sure, blame it on work. Yeah, I blame a lot of stuff on work. I blame a lot of stuff on my ex too, but that's why I work so much. Excuse me. Anyway, as I said earlier, we're supposed to have Aaron from Tactacam on. I don't know if you guys have any experience with Tactacam products or not. I know I bought one a couple of years ago. It's the Tactacam 5.0. I see they've come out with a 6.0 now. And I took some footage actually of my 14-year-old shooting a precision rifle for his first time last weekend or the weekend before. And that was entertaining. It's the first time I really earnestly used Tactacam. And no, I don't think Chris got more parasites, but yeah, it's a good looking piece of equipment so far from what how much I've used it. I know that in Chris's hands, he has the Spotter long range camera sitting at his house. And I believe he has one or two other items as well. And both that long range spotter and the film through scope Tactacam deal, I want to get on my March Genesis when Jens and I are shooting the really long stuff and get some footage that way, and we'll post it up. I posted up on our Instagram, on the Ballistically Speaking Instagram, which is also linked to the Facebook page. I posted up a short video of my 14-year-old son shooting a 6-inch kind of sideways target at 574 meters. That was kind of fun, and it, you know what, it showed me a lot. You can always, it's really helpful when you're trying to teach somebody that you can give them all the instruction you want, but unless you're seeing what he's seeing or she is seeing, the shooter is seeing, it's hard to know exactly what's going on. So I kind of fell into, okay, I got the eye contact from my son, and he said he understood what I was talking about, the kind of the game plan going in before he got down on the mat and started taking direction for fire. But I could see in that film or that video when I took it off the camera that he's really not very stable. He's got a good level of confidence, but he doesn't have his fundamentals down pat. You can see that he's jerking the trigger, and he's really not in the best position to remain stable throughout that the setup and the shot. So it's a good piece of gear that way. What we're going to try and do, I guess, is at some point in the near future again, is try and get Aaron on to talk about his own products rather than me trying to do it. Banding got to be politically correct. Well, you know what? Yeah, I suppose you can't call everything a him, I guess. I mean, I do have women out shooting as well, and we certainly welcome women. So, you know, fuck, everybody has this need to be included in goddamn everything and get offended if they aren't. So I guess he or she behind the rifle, the shooter. How about that? Sometimes you got to drop a gear and disappear. I'm not sure what that means, Banding, but anyhow. All right. I don't know, you guys. Like I said, right off the bat, those of you who know me, I'm not very bloody good at carrying a conversation on by myself. Diversity and exclusion, diversity and execution, maybe. So I don't know if there's anything you guys want to chat about, go ahead and throw it in the chat. But I can't say as I'd really carry on a whole lot all by myself. I could tell you, I suppose, about the last range trip that Jens and my boy took out to the range. And my God, is it ever good to get out there now? I hadn't pulled the trigger in quite some time, and last time I was off work, I went out to the farm, did a bunch of work out there with Dad, and then snuck off to the range a couple of times that week. And it was really nice to get out. Yanzi and I have a couple of new rifles. He came up with a design for a new cartridge. What he's done is taken a 6.5 by 47 Lapua and essentially ackleyized it, necked it to 25 cal, and blew out the shoulder to 40 degrees and taken some of the taper out of that case. And so far with the 135 grain burgers, it's doing really well. We're able to get on. We have what is it, Jens? I think it's a 12-inch target sitting out at 1,107 meters, and fire forming those loads, those cases with the 135 burgers and just an arbitrary charge of Varget for fire forming. We're on that 12-inch at 1107 with some very nice regularity. It's kind of interesting to see. It's a giggle for sure. 6.5 by 47 has been a cartridge for a long time. Yeah, for sure. I don't know when the heck it came out. but I know it was developed for the 600-yard bench rest guys, or the 600-yard bench rest guys in the States. I believe it was the States. Came up with that design, I don't know, early 90s, I think. And it was fantastic for that game. And then, of course, it developed into different things from there. Jens he's on his second 6x47 now. And those things are hammers. And the lucky son of a bitch, he, from the first 6x47, he just took that exact same load, threw it in his new gun, and it shoots the same. And Christ, he's made hits out to a mile with it. So it's pretty hard to argue with that. Todd, annealing after every shoot. Well, that's subjective, Todd, because there's so many dependents. Well, there's several, I guess. Anyways, it depends on the cartridge, what kind of stresses are put in that case, all that kind of stuff. Listen, if you have the machine, the annealing machine, and it's a good consistent machine, yeah, I would anneal every time. You're not going to hurt a damn thing by doing that, and you're probably, I'm assuming you're probably assured a little bit more consistency from load to load on that one particular case if you anneal every time. I know a lot of the time, especially back when I didn't have access to a good annealing machine, like my old 284 that I used to have, I'd anneal every third round or third firing. I don't know. It just depends. Like if you start seeing or if you start feeling different pressures, I guess, when you're seating a bullet, or if you start to see some erratic velocities or erratic shots on paper or whatever, maybe you've got some hardened necks and you want to anneal. But like I said, if you have the equipment, just do it every time. The same thing every time. Oh, Spudman says, according to Wikipedia, the 6.5x47 came out in 2005. That's only 15 years or so off. Bending shot the new Arrow bolt action. That would be neat. That's their first foray into the bolt action market, I think, isn't it? They're typically an AR manufacturer, aren't they? All right. Well, if you lame bums don't have anything else, I'll probably call it. We've got a whole 9 people there. Yenzi says he kneels every time for the 3 seconds it takes, and he doesn't have to keep track of the firing count. That's some good advice right there. I think 3 extra seconds on a per case. Bending wants me to send him the link. All right. Bear with us, folks. Bender, I don't know if I have your email. Nope, I don't know what the heck it is, buddy. Anyway, you guys go ahead and pound your questions or topics in if you got them. What else is coming up this year, Jens? I know Jens and I elected not to participate in the various PRS matches around this year. We're concentrating more on ELR stuff. Good Lord. I know that at Bending, you're like like a fly or a crazy ex-girlfriend. Send me your damn email and I'll send you the link. There's too many matches this year, Mike. Yeah, I suppose the guy's going to spend a small fortune in fuel getting to them. Mike, I see you were at the Saskatoon range. There was a match. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Was it a CRPS or an ORPS shoot? Anyways, I see you were there. Didn't hey Rooster, come on out. Oh wait, I couldn't come out anyway. So anyway, the Ocho is a nice touch, you guys. Oh, sorry, I just assumed you were there as well. Okay, Mike wasn't there, so I suppose I can forgive you. All right. All right, let's see if this works. Yenzi says training and more training, ELR training, annual. Oh, yes, right. Annual Nose Hill Gun Club visit. When's that? That's June 10th. We're going out there, isn't it? Yes, it would be June 9th, 10th, and 11th. Nose Hill Gun Range, Gun Club, southeastern Alberta. Mike, I guess you're not too terribly far from Nose Hill, are you? Really, it'd be an hour and a half, something like that. June 9th, 10th, and 11th. J.R. Cox, how you doing, man? Chris is dealing with some personal emergency right now. I don't know what it is, but I hope everything's okay. And we did have a guest queued up tonight from Tactacam, but he elected not to join us apparently. So
she has no problem with. Instead, you get me.
Bending ballistics.
What up, Rooster?
Well, you've seen it. I'm here all alone, and I
was watching this dumpster fire go down. This is a dumpster fire tonight. Chris got parasites and everything else. So
you mind your goddamn manners when you're on here, boy.
My bad.
Well, what's going on down in Kentucky?
Not much. So we just had the Pristine guys here 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And then they brought some Canadian maple syrup, and it's like diabetes in a spoon. And then Aero Precision was just here last week.
Okay.
And then,
so what's that rifle like then? What are they calling that model anyway?
The Solus, I think is what it is, or Solas, or.
Okay.
So
what caliber did you shoot?
I shot it in their 6.5 Needmore.
Okay, right on.
And then they brought their suppressor with them too, so we were playing with the suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Pristine came, Heller Arms came with them. Do you know Rob Heller at all?
No, I don't know who that is. No.
So Rob Heller used to Heller Enterprises used to be Olympia Arms in Olympia, Oregon.
Right. Yeah.
And so Rob Heller bought all that, and
wait,
they
there's
turned
an Olympia,
it into
Oregon, as well as an Olympia, Washington.
Yeah.
Like, and
there was two
and
Olympia
how many
Arms.
Springfields do you have down there too?
Running
out of place names.
Well, you got Springfield, Tennessee. That's not far from me. Then you got Springfield, Kentucky. That's 2 hours away. Then you got Springfield, Illinois. Then you got Springfield, Missouri. Those are all within a 5-hour drive. But there's only one Nastyville.
It's kind of like a family tree in Kentucky, isn't it? There's just
I know.
Several
That's why we call it Kentucky instead of Kentucky.
So what did you think of that rifle then?
So I really like the arrow. I think what they need to do with it, I really think they need to get with like Trigger Tech or Timney or somebody like that
Mhm.
and put a nice trigger in it. Because they put a good trigger in that thing, it'll be a hammer.
Is it their own trigger they decided to manufacture, or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just the trigger that we had in it that I didn't care for, but it was heavy. It was like a 5-pound trigger pull.
Yeah, that's not the best thing for a precision rifle, is it?
No, I mean, so it was pretty cool, but I was the only person able to get it to impact at 1,000 yards. And once I was able to figure out the dope for 1,000, everybody else started smacking 1,000. But I don't know it. Don't get me wrong, it performed. It was a nice rifle.
Mm-hmm.
However, at the price point in which it is,
You'd expect
does
a
that
bit
make
more,
sense? What I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially. So if you just look at it from the standpoint of like what you can buy a factory Delta 5 Pro for, or a MPA Matrix in the production division, if you look at the price point of those two versus the Arrow or even the SIG, you're talking $500 more, and you have a super nice rifle. You know what I mean?
So
And I'm not
what you're
saying the
talking
Arrow's
about
not
is
nice.
that arrow is just $500 less than like the MPA Matrix and other rifles like that, or what?
Yeah. So their MSRP is $2,000, and you're talking the Matrix, the Cross, and the Delta 5 Pro, and the MDT that comes in the Oryx chassis. That's their production division rifle. Oh, which one is that one?
MDT's not putting out a rifle though, are they? They're just putting out chassis and other components, but not barrels and or
I thought they
actions.
linked. No, they linked up with Savage.
Oh, did they? That may be. I'm not sure. I hadn't heard that. Not that I'm on the cutting edge information there or anything, but
yeah, they linked with Savage on that stuff. Because Savage, was it the Elite? I think that's what it is.
I'm not sure. I'm certainly not a Savage fan, so I'm not up on their stuff. But yeah, Mike Hynek saying there's a 110 Elite Savage Precision in an ACC, but I think he's right. I did see that Savage is putting out a rifle with MDT's chassis, I believe is what that is. It's not
so even still there, like, or you order the Ruger RPR in 6.5 Creed, 243, 308, whatever have you, you still get just a hellacious of a rifle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You like that that Ruger Precision?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Really?
You got to realize that's what I tried that world record with the 22 was a Ruger RPR.
Oh, is that right? Okay. What was the world record attempt?
1,203 yards.
Holy.
304 minutes of angle.
That's kind of crazy for rimfire. What do you guys got going on for rimfire stuff down there? Yeah, I'll agree
the
with
ELR
on a Ruger Precision for sure.
The ELR version of 22 has really exploded here.
Oh, is that right? Lots
of
custom breaks out for that now.
Yeah, like between the custom breakout and getting kids involved with it. I mean, it's just like what you're talking about with your son or child or whatever, like how he's struggling with the fundamentals, where you can teach him proper fundamentals with the 22 and you're out what? half a cent per round.
Well, not up here. It's not. No, a box of Ely, whatever, is shit. I think it's like I'm talking 50 rounds. I think there's lots of that stuff that's creeping upwards of $20 for a box of 50.
Yeah, but if you're just teaching him fundamentals, you don't have
Oh,
to have Ely by federal.
no, that's true. Yeah, yep, I agree. But even so, just some of the plinker rounds, like say a Blazer or something like that, like a good plinker, I think they're still up at oh shit, $9 or so dollars. I think for a box of 50, and that's Canadian dollars. So
that's what.
So that might
Six
be
American?
35 cents American. Yeah.
No, I think our ratio is like 35.
Yeah, it's
35% less.
1.35 or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Our illustrious prime minister just keeps printing money. So what the hell?
Well, I mean,
it's all good.
I
just pay more tax.
It's the same in the United States. It's the exact same here. Like, our Federal Reserve just keeps printing money, and then the president keeps on with stimulus bills and tax cuts and child bribe money and Ukrainian money and UN money and all this shit. Like, it's the same process here. The only difference is yours happens up there by your prime minister and ours happens by our executive branch.
None of those assholes are any damn good. Hey,
no, Dad. They're all the same.
Yeah, absolutely. No damn good for the country, for sure. Anyway,
no, and it's all about fear mongering and shit like that. So
yeah. Speaking of rimfire, I have a CRPS event going on at the Twisted Rooster Rifle Ranch in July, starting July 15th and 16th. There's an event. Just let me look that up here. That's not what I wanted. July 15th and 16th is the Extreme Range Outfitters Prairie Region Championship 2-day at my place there. And then on the 22nd and 23rd, the 22nd, we have the Go Big Tactical 22 Hunter match. And the 23rd, we have the 2023 Leopold King of 0.22 miles presented by Extreme Range Outfitters in Saskatoon there. So
that's what, 600 yards, 0.22 miles?
Yes. Well, I'm not sure. 0.22 is considerably less, I think, than 600. But I think it was 650, Mike, that we took the 22s out to last year? Man, I'm telling you, that is 600 Mike, 641.6 meters last year, thanks to Jens and his awesome new rangefinder and his German persuasion. He insisted on being precise. Gotta love that from a shooting partner. But yeah, we got some aluminum targets way out there, and they were kind of a really, really good thing. Just thin aluminum sheet. I think it wasn't even 1/8 inch thick, I don't think, but at least you could hear them.
Hey, so I've got a call out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a call out for all the shooters that are watching this.
Okay.
This is everybody watching. Cold bore challenge. Pick a distance, no matter what the distance is. I did mine at 500 yards of the cold bore challenge.
That. Okay.
Just do it. Try it. See how far you can do your cold bore challenge.
No.
If you can do it at 1,000 yards, whatever cartridge you want.
Oh, I see. So
you pick the cartridge, you pick the distance, and do the cold bore challenge.
Yes, I am twisted. Okay, so there's a criteria. Any cartridge, any distance, as long as it's a cold bore shot. First of the
Yeah,
day,
but
maybe should
challenge
be a
yourself.
criteria, right?
Yeah,
So
challenge yourself.
you're not just sitting there for an hour and decide, oh, I'll do a cold bore now after having gotten all the wind calls from earlier in the day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. And then do
just
what with
try
it?
it. Like,
So do you want video of it somehow? What kind of
yeah,
video do you want, and post it where?
upload it on YouTube. Make a short of it. Tag me in
Oh,
it. Tag you in it. Let
okay.
let's create this challenge and just
All
see
right,
how
boys.
far we could get it going.
Canada versus US. Let's go.
Oh, we're gonna do Canada versus US. Hold on, I'll get Robert Brentley on the phone.
So, how about target size? Or you
I
just
did a
have to
standard
specify
IPSC at 500.
in the video? Oh, okay.
I did standard IPSC. And
Boone says
the reason why I'm saying
568
pick,
yards, 223 first round of the day on a coyote. Yeah, I would say that counts, Boone. Yeah, but no video didn't happen.
yeah, like we gotta see the video. Like tag you in it, like
Sure.
just make it fun. Like challenge each other. Like, okay, so you got 500 yards. Well, I'm going to do 700 yards. Let's see how far we can push it. Who can get to the furthest on the cold bore shot at the beginning of the day? Like, who can do it? You know what I mean?
Sounds good. I'm not home for another 2 weeks. Yenzi,
Oh,
the gauntlet's through.
yeah, like whatever distance we can pick, it doesn't matter. Like,
Sounds
there's
good.
not a criteria.
No.
Like, let's just have fun with it. Like, that's what this community was built on, was having fun.
That's true.
And creating, I guess, joist with each other on who's better.
Right. Yenzi says we'll do meters. That will confuse bending. Yeah.
Hey, I know meters.
We'll have to convert. We're not doing it.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever you choose, like.
Sounds good. I'll get my 14-year-old out there again with the 6.3 Germinator.
Well, see, the thing about it is a lot of people don't understand how hard a cold bore challenge is. Like, they're just like, oh, well, my dope for 400 yards on a warm barrel is 1.9 mils on a 6.5 Creed, we'll just use Creed for an example. Sure. And they're like, oh, well, cold bore shot, it's going to be 1.9. Well, it might be 1.9. Then again, it might be 1.7. You don't really know. And then they miss, and they're like, what the hell?
Alex with Epic Arms. Good to see you here, man. What's going on, guys? Just hopped on. No, you know what? We didn't go over the Tactacam yet. We were supposed to have Aaron on from Tactacam, but he no-showed. Aaron's out. I guess we'll have to catch up with him another day. And unfortunately, Chris is attending to some personal emergencies, so we'll have to regroup.
We got parasites again?
We got what? No, parasites. You and your fucking parasites, man. Just calm down.
I'm just picking. Keep your gal down.
Dan Castillo, I can try 318 yards at a 2/3 IPSC with my 22. Let's have it. Absolutely. All right.
Let's do it. Like, whatever distance.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know.
Oh shit. Having some. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on with my computer. Yeah, I can hear you there.
Okay.
Yes, Alex with Epic Arms, formerly Affordable Optics and Rifle Reviews. Check this Slayer out. Look at that. He's got a new logo and everything. Or a jazzed up logo,
Heck yeah.
maybe. Right on. Good to see you here, man. All right.
We
Alex,
just
I don't know if you caught that or not, but Bending Ballistics here with me is just throwing down the gauntlet. He's our friend from Kentucky, and he's created a cold bore challenge. So the criteria is pretty loose. Any rifle, any cartridge, any range, just declare it on your video short, post it up on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, tag Bending Ballistics as well as Ballistically Speaking podcast, and let's see what we can come up with. Mike Hynek's already said that Mike Hynek's coming with a pop can challenge, 22 rimfire at 500 meters. Now that is bold. That is bold, Cotton.
the next thing that I'm going to do.
What's that?
After we do this, we're going to have to do like a meetup of everybody that has like gone the furthest distance. And then we're going to have to do a dueling tree at 500 yards.
A dueling tree is something that I've wanted to build for several years now. Actually, we had a couple of iterations of one, but you know how high speed projectiles act with stationary objects. I just haven't built another one yet, so I think that's a good bit of fun. Those dueling trees gets a guy worked up.
Well, I had another YouTube channel that was spouting off that he was taking AR-15 and 5.56 out to 1,000 yards with the LPVO. And so I called him out and I was like, well, if you're this good with your LPVO, when your 223 takes 38 MOA to get out there and your LPVO only goes to 28 MOA, so you're doing a 10 MOA holdover. If you're this good, like, come do a dueling tree with me at 500 yards and I'll give you the leg up. Like, we'll put 2 of your targets on my side and I'll give you the leg up. Since it's my range, I know how the wind goes at my range. And
pretty cocky, Bender. And did he accept?
He backed down. He's like, oh, no, I can't do that. Well, why? You're doing it with the LPVO at 1,000 yards. Like,
I don't know. Maybe that's just his comfort zone. I don't know. Yeah. And yeah, there are a lot of mouthpieces out there, but you never know. Maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable displaying it or something. I don't know. Chris W says any rimfire, anything. From what I understand, Bender's saying that any rifle, any caliber, cartridge, whatever, any distance, as long as you declare what it is on the video. How about that?
Yeah, just declare what I didn't declare what mine was on my video initially, but I think everybody knows I shoot 6.5 Creed.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's watched my stuff at any time, they know I shoot 6.5 Creed.
Well, here you go. Here's some comfort for you. Alex with Epic Arms says it just won't be fair if some people are using 6.5 Creed more. Yes. The only rifle a man ever needs, hey?
Yeah. Well, I shoot a lot of 308 too, but I did get to shoot something that was crazy fun.
What's that?
Like, you get it. You work in the firearms industry just like I do, and when you get something new that you're like, this is fucking cool, like, like, it takes a lot to do it. You get what I'm saying? We've both been in this industry for a long time.
Yeah,
but sure. So when Pristine came down, Heller Enterprises came down, and Rob sent their 300 Winchester short mag and gas with them.
Okay.
I was like, this is kind of cool. I was like, I want to see how it acts. Like, is it reliable? Does it feed good? What's the terminal accuracy on it? Dude, let me tell you, we were taking this mug out to 15 1550 yards. So
Really?
1550 yards
That's a
with
semi-auto.
ease. Yes, with ease, dude. Dude, it was so cool. Which I know, like, 300 Winchester short mag, like, going those distances is not abnormal. However, we're in a gas rifle, and we're
Yeah,
laying them on top of each other.
that's fairly impressive for sure. Holy crap. Mike
Like, it was
Hynek
super
said,
cool.
everyone yapping about 6.5 Creed when 300 PRC is where it's at. That's not quite apples and oranges, but it's somewhere close to that. It's apples and
But
big apples.
so, yeah. Like, it was super cool, like, him bringing that out, and Rob is actually building me a barrel, because everybody knows I'm a huge Grendel fan. Like, anybody that's, like, been around me outside of competition world knows how much I love the 6.5 Grendel.
Right.
And Rob is building me a 22-inch 6.5 Grendel barrel. Do you know who Eagle Run 23 is?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Okay, so him and I are doing a build-off series.
Okay.
So Rob is building us both barrels. We're doing separate links on barrels, but Rob is going to play with twist rates on the two to, like, he'll either speed up Nick's barrel or he'll slow mine down. Like, he's going to figure out math-wise, like, how to make it as even as he can. But Eagle and I are going to do a build-off series, and then at the gap grind, I think is where what Rob said is that he's got his book for gap grind, where him and I are on a team together. However, like, we're still going to compete. However, we're going to, like, be against each other too, even though we're competing together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Like, you're going as a team for the grind? Okay.
Yeah, so Gap Grind is the Pro-Am series, so...
Yeah. So you're going to the grind with a 6.5 Grendel.
Yeah.
So you're not looking to win.
Hey, I don't know, man. Grendel is pretty nasty, man.
Yeah, Chris just got 6.5 Grendel upper done up for his Sterling Arms R18. It's a Canadian made semi-auto, and he had it in 5.56, of course. And then just a little while ago, he got the 6.5 Grendel upper, and I did up some arbitrary hand loads for it, and did some cycle and pressure tests with it. Is all I got to do with it. And then I think I believe Chris went out and did some actual testing with it just recently that he hasn't had a chance to edit and put up yet. But it'll be interesting to see what it does out of that thing for sure.
So did you do your arbitrary testing with 123s or 130s, 135s?
No, the only thing Chris could find was 129 SSTs. So he couldn't find any 123s around. So that would have been ideal, because those 129s are pretty long, and I had to set them back in the case quite a bit. It ate up quite a lot of powder room. And it was what I ended up using was CFE 223 is what I had on hand. I was thinking about trying Varget, but I wasn't. Well, okay. So what we had on hand was Varget and CFE 223. So I had lots of CFE that I don't really use in a whole lot of rifles. So I tried that, and it tested out okay in terms of pressure and function, but it was a pretty compressed charge, to be honest. And I don't know I have no idea what I was getting for velocity or anything, but what I wanted to do was set Chris up with a decent load that wasn't pressuring the hell out of that upper, and sent him off to do his testing and review with it. So And I
So
think,
I've done some serious testing with the Grindle on powders because, like, it's my dirty obsession. Like, it's
Mhm.
my six dasher.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense? Like, it's my
Yep.
man bun cartridge. It's my dasher. It's my bougie cartridge. Whatever you want to call it, I don't care.
Right. Right.
But I have studied and studied and studied that cartridge, and I've tried from the 223 to the IMR
Like
4091.
4166.
Yeah,
Probably 4160.
4163.
Yeah.
Varget,
Mm-hmm.
Hodgdon 4350,
Mm-hmm.
IMR 4350,
Geez, that's pretty slow
Reloader.
cartridge, isn't it?
It
4350.
is, but
Yeah.
it's not terribly slow in it if you're compressing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've done Reloader 16. I've
Okay.
tried Alliance in it. I've tried Reloader 15, 17 also.
What about some of that Shooter's World powder? We don't get that up here. But
I
we've
have
heard,
never used it.
is that right? Hey, okay.
Mid-South, so like you know where I am for the most part. Like you guys know I'm pretty close to Mid-South.
Yeah,
They get that Shooter's World all the time.
right. How come you haven't tried
And
it? Man, I'd be on that like a fat kid on a Smartie.
well, every time I go in there and I tell Steve that, hey, I want some Shooter's World, and he's like, well, I got this instead. And he'll have, let's just say, IMR 4064 and the
Mhm.
Shooter's World. Well, I'm just going to go with the IMR 4064. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. I would have thought it would have piqued your curiosity at least a little bit. What are you
I've been
paying for
wanting
a
to
pound of
play.
powder down there?
Which one?
I don't know. Pick what. Let's say Varget or 4350. Some of the extremely popular ones.
Varget is over $60 a pound.
Oh God, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, I think it's only recently come
43.
back down to 85 here. Like it was not uncommon to see it over $100 a pound here.
Well, that's how it was here for a long time.
Oh, was it?
H 4350. The last time I found it, I ended up ordering it through Shields, I think,
Okay.
and it was like $90 a pound shipped.
Holy crap.
And all I could order was 8 pounds, so I just ordered a jug. But
So, are you seeing good supply now? You finally broken out of that real lean times kind of thing, then, or what?
yes and no. Like I've had to convert
For
all
select.
my cases to small rifle primers.
Yeah, large rifle primers are still almost a unicorn up here for sure. Small
They
rifle
are here
primers
too.
is a little bit better, but yeah, it's still pretty dear when you do see it up for sale for sure.
Now
We've
pistol primers are a dime a dozen right now.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, yeah, I'm starting to see some of that come through. We've had some real economy, I guess would call it, small rifle primers pop up, but it's they're marketed by a company that sort of traditionally produces pistol bullets. Now I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe Jens, you can help me. The Cam Pro primers. There's a different name on them, produced by a different company, but just marketed, I think, by Cam Pro. And they seem to be okay. Certainly good plinking primers, but you look for BR4s or 205Ms or something like that, and it's just disgusting. Well, first of all, if you can find it. Second of all, what stores want for them. It's just criminal. But anyway.
Well, that's the problem too. Is like you got to realize. So just because I'm in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like yes, the U.S. market has come back for the most part on a
Mhm.
lot of things, like ammo wise and things like that. But it's all geographical of where you're at. So my biggest problem is part of my region that I live in is Atlanta. Well, if you look
Mhm.
at gun shop ratio in Atlanta
Mhm.
to Nashville, Tennessee, Bowling Green, Kentucky, you're talking Atlanta has what, 60 gun stores in a 100-mile radius?
Oh, is that right?
Nashville has 25 and Bowling Green, Kentucky has 7. So who's going to control the market? Atlanta.
Yeah, of course.
So a lot of it is dictated on what's going on there. And then also, like, you've got some heavy hitter ammo manufacturers that aren't far from me either,
Mhm.
like the uh who's over in Missouri? They make the brass. Lake City.
Oh,
Lake
yeah.
City
Okay.
is just over in Missouri,
Right.
so they control a lot in this area too.
Yeah.
So
Well, sure, to support their loaded factory loaded ammunition. Yeah, they'll eat up a bunch. The thing is, like, okay, that might be the case with you guys down there. You've sort of got your interregional supply issues or whatever you want to say, but your appetite down there, like as a whole, U.S. as a whole, is so much larger than ours that it puts us at such a severe disadvantage. But
you're looking too, like, we have a constitutional right to
Mhm.
firearms where you guys have a privilege.
Well,
Like,
right. Yep. And that's being
and and
day
I
by
don't mean to
day.
sound jaded. Like, I don't mean that like condescending or anything like that.
No,
Like, don't take
no,
it that way.
no, not at all. But
Um,
it is
and
fact, right?
yeah, and it's a culture here. Like, the firearms culture here is totally different.
Hmm.
Like, if you looked at maple syrup, for example, as a culture within Canada, like, it's a cultural thing. You know what I mean? Like, you come to the
Yeah,
U.S., yeah,
I
there's
guess I
maple
can kind of
syrup
make
here.
yeah.
Do what?
I said I guess I can make that correlation, sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's
Like,
there's definitely a cultural difference for sure. Yeah.
and but see, like, the thing that drives firearm sales within the United States is politics.
Hmm. Oh,
Like, if
that's
you
here
look
too.
at,
Make no mistake, Justin Trudeau is the best fucking firearms salesman on the planet.
so is the Democratic Party in the United States. Like, the
Yeah, true enough.
Democratic Party in the
Obama
United
sold
States
his
has,
share, didn't he?
well, so here's the funny thing about that. Like, everybody wants to say Obama was anti-gun and this, that, and the third, but Obama was actually more pro-gun than Donald Trump ever was.
Well, Donald Trump
That's the
before he went Republican, right?
was Democrat.
Right. And yeah, he just didn't really give a damn about guns before well, he was a Democrat supporter, right? But then when he crossed that
Yes.
aisle, or however you want to say it, he was actually a Second Amendment supporter. But what I'm saying, like with Obama, when Obama got in, well, there was all that panic buying simply because of who he was associated with. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't terribly anti-gun. In fact, I think he's more anti-gun now than he ever was when he was in office.
Oh yeah,
But it was just
absolutely.
that scare with the gun owning public down there that really kicked off shortages, and you know what, the impulse buys and the stocking and all that kind of stuff. Obama really didn't do a hell of a lot, if anything. I'm not sure. I can't think of a specific example where he actually enacted any gun laws himself. So, but then Biden came along, and that was part of his platform, was it not? When he ran, part of it was gun control.
Assault weapons ban.
Yeah,
Assault weapons ban. He bragged that he was the only one that defeated the NRA and got the assault weapons ban. When in all reality,
yeah,
Biden didn't get a fucking assault weapons ban. Congress got an assault weapons ban.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Potato,
Like
as far
that.
as I'm concerned, but
Correct. It's
yeah.
just like your parliament. If your parliament enacted what your version of the ATF would be, I guess it would be your Royal Mountain Police, I guess.
Mm.
Like, let's say they had a alcohol, tobacco, and firearms division
Mm-hmm.
and explosives, I guess. I don't know if they do or not. I don't know anything about
Oh, who knows?
Canadian politics.
Yeah. They're all
But
so fucking
let's
scrambled
just,
and don't stay in their lanes anyway. So what the fuck?
yeah, they come over and spy on the United States at our gun shows.
Yeah, yeah, because we swing such a big fucking stick, don't we? Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, because we sell, anyways. Yeah, like I love you guys, like, but and it is what it is. Like, we're just the crackhead neighbors that live downstairs. But
well,
I mean, the biggest sale of guns in the United States, without a question of the doubt, is politics, religion, and fear mongering.
Oh yeah.
When COVID hit, dude, like legitimately, when COVID hit, I had so much ammo that I ended up just taking to the shop just to sell, like, because we needed the ammo at the shop. Yeah. We had to have it to sell with guns. Like, we were selling 39 millimeters a week, and we didn't have any 9mm ammo. Mm-hmm. So, like, I was bringing cases of 9mm in. That was my practice ammo, and selling it with a gun. Like, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had shit to sell.
Well, you know what? There was a period there, early in 2022, like for us up here, it was March, I believe, right? And I think it was near the same with you guys down there. That it for a period, it almost seemed like the end of the world was coming. Like, here we go, boys, this is it. And yeah, that incited a whole bunch of panic buying, I think. Or just an excuse.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And the hell of it is, nobody really knew what the hell was coming down the pipe.
Well, you have all these cities, whether it's Democrat-ran cities, Republican-ran cities, liberal-ran cities, or conservative-ran cities in Canada, United States, and everywhere else that are pissed off, they're rioting, they're fucking burning the goddamn place down in the name of justice and in the name of freedom. Like, and then the Supreme Court of the United States tells everybody, the cops have no duty to protect you. Yeah. That's why they show up after the crime has happened. And it really put people in reality check of, oh, fuck, I'm on my own right now.
Yep, for sure. And that's part of the cultural difference that you talked about earlier, is that because for the most part, you're able to do stuff like that down in the States. Like, if you get attacked in many states, you can defend yourself with a firearm. Here, no, absolutely not. You end up with a stiffer sentence than any fucking attacker ever would have thought of getting here. So we didn't experience that here, simply because that's not a legal possibility, which speaks a lot, as far as I'm concerned, to this whole attack on law-abiding gun owners, because of all the crime and everything. And you didn't see anybody going out and panic shooting anybody or shit like that, because the people who have an interest in being a legal firearms owner just locked them away and sat and were good people. Remain.
Well, and the problem is,
and it's a fucking scum.
The problem is
they were doing all the crime.
Well, that's the thing. Like, gun laws do nothing but hurt the law-abiding gun owner.
Oh yeah,
Plain and simple.
beat the
It's the
fuck.
same where you live.
Yeah.
You are trying to do your gun rights by the books. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you compete, you represent your company, yourself,
Mm-hmm.
the sport of long range shooting as an individual, and you respect the firearm. You practice what you preach when it comes to safety, and all this shit. And then you have Joe Blow Clark down the street. I'm just using that. I don't know if you have anybody in here named Joe Blow Clark, and if you do, I'm sorry. This is not a jab at you, Joe Blow Clark. However,
Joe's strong. He can take it.
okay, that's just down here willy nilly doing whatever the fuck he wants and doesn't care that he has 5 felonies and this, that, and the third. Like,
it's the same goddamn thing here. Like, I still maintain it's all intent. I don't give a shit what you use. It's a tire iron, it's a knife, it's a car, it's a fucking 2x4, whatever. If you intend to, if you're intent on hurting someone, it doesn't matter the tool you use. Then a lot of people will say, well, yeah, but a firearm is that much more lethal and gives you that much more of an advantage. that may be, but you still have to have intent. And the people who go through the bother of getting their firearms licenses want to keep their firearms, and they'll abide by those laws. Shitheads don't fucking care.
Well, when I worked law enforcement, dude, we worked more murder cases, like cold-blooded murder cases where people were beaten to death with a hammer or with a fucking shovel than we did firearm homicides.
Oh yeah, hammer homicides are pretty goddamn high for sure. Mike Hynek says in Vancouver 1 year, and I think the statistic is true this year as well. Responsible for like 3,000 arrests or something stupid like that, he says. Now, I think there's a statistic out right now, and it may be Toronto or it may be Canada-wide, I'm not sure, but I think it was Toronto, 6,000 police interactions from like 40 people, like just in and out of custody. Like, they'll go and get picked up by the cops, taken in, booted out. Go ahead, son, do it again. There's been a couple of stabbings, fatal stabbings, by people who were out. They were picked up. The next day they went out and fucking killed somebody. Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
So my neighbor's a cop, where I live. Like, literally my next door neighbor's a cop. And we talk about this shit all the time. He was telling me how it's pointless for him to even arrest somebody for a crime anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, because before we ever get to the jail, their pretrial has already released them. So we literally pull into the jail, take their mugshot as they're walking out the fucking door, flipping them off.
Well, thanks for checking in. We'll see you in a couple of days. Right?
Yeah. Don't miss your court date. You're on release on your own recognizances. Make sure you come back now.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it's going in the States. The reasons for people getting out earlier on bail or soft bail or whatever the hell the case is. But our Liberal government up here actually put in place bills C5 and C75, reducing mandatory minimum penalties for firearms offenses. And realistically, this only applies to people without firearms license or in possession of legal firearms, because the penalties for a legal firearm owner doing something illegal with a firearm are far fucking stiffer. And I think it was C5 that I don't know what exactly it was, but it basically eliminated. I don't want to say penalties, but jail time, let's say. I don't know if it had anything specifically to do with bail itself, but between those two bills, like there's no consequence for anybody, and we wonder why shit's going south. Like, but let's go and, like, just like your ATF down there, let's go to the places where we know this guy has firearms and go and harass him. At the very least, harass him. And
well, here's the problem with the United States. Okay, have you followed the CRS Firearms Matt Hoover, Justin Irwing case?
No. I'm trying to think.
The auto key card case, like, have you followed that at all?
The which again? Sorry.
The auto key card.
Oh, that's yes. I know a little bit something about it, or I heard about it. I don't know a great.
Okay. So here's the problem with this case, and like, this isn't a bash on the ATF. Like, I truly feel like the ATF has a legitimate job. Like, this isn't a bash on the ATF by any stretch.
Well,
and like, don't.
It's the way in which the ATF often conducts
handled it.
Right.
Yes, that's my problem. Is the way in which it was conducted, not the fact that they have a legitimate job. Yeah. I mean, somebody has to send firearms to the cartel in the Fast and Furious, and so.
Yeah.
I digress. I'm sorry. Yeah. But so you take the auto key card, and those two guys were found guilty on conspiracy to manufacture machine guns. Okay, fine, whatever. That's your premise. That's what you believe. But we also have a approval letter saying that, okay, because it's not dimensionally correct, blah, 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 it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then you digress on your decision, and now all of a sudden it's illegal. And now you're arresting these guys for felony of manufacturing firearms when one of them is an SOT. So remember that.
What's an SOT?
Matt Hoover. SOT is a special occupation tax. It's a SOT 0702. So that's the guy that can manufacture full autos and sell them to law enforcement, military,
sure.
Sell suppressors.
Special use.
Yeah, so he can do your paperwork for your suppressor. He holds your suppressor until the ATF gives you your permission slip, and then you pick it up from him. Right. And you still fill out a 4473 when you pick up a suppressor, which is our form that we have to fill out to buy a firearm to do our National Criminal Investigation Services check.
Oh, but wait a second. I thought that firearms have never been so accessible in the U.S. as they are right now. Anybody can get one.
So, you are the second person in a month that's told me that from Canada. So, no, and I'm being for real. So when the Pristine guys came here, Jared came here from Pristine. Yeah. I don't know if you know any of the guys over at Pristine.
Not really.
Or not.
I kind of
know so Jared
are, but
so Jared is the marketing manager, I think, or social media managers. He's some type of manager. I'm not sure, like something to do with marketing and social media.
We're with you.
And Jared came here and he was like, because he didn't understand like how restrictive it really is in the United States to own a gun. He's like, I just assumed that this was the fucking wild, wild west. Mm-hmm. He was like, you have more restrictions on your guns here with the Second Amendment than we do in Canada.
No,
we have barrel restrictions. No, we have barrel restrictions in the United States. If you have a medical marijuana card, legally, according to the ATF, on your 4473, you're asked a series of questions. One of them being, do you take any illegal substance or addicted to any drugs or have a prescription for any type of psychedelics, anything like that?
I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not trying to be rude, but you're crying to the wrong fucking guy if you're looking for sympathy.
No. I don't want sympathy. Like,
no, I know you're not asking for it, but uh,
No.
to even suggest that you're more restrictive down there than we are here. It's a bit of a sensitive topic for me right now, considering the things that have been going on here in the past 3 years. So no.
Like, yes, we have pistols. Yes, we have pistols. Yes, we have semi-auto firearms. Yes, you can go buy ammunition at Walmart. But you know what you can't buy at Walmart?
What's that?
Handgun ammunition or 223 ammo.
Yeah, but how many other places?
Or 7.62 by 39.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. None of it's great. That's for goddamn sure.
But we could buy 7.62 by 51 NATO at Walmart. Explain that one to me.
Yeah, I don't know where they make those differentiations. It's fucking crazy. But going back to the pristine guys and just that not necessarily the pristine guys themselves, but that notion that firearms are so easily accessible and so easily obtained in the U.S. For I don't know how many goddamn decades of my adult life, I've always said the dumbest dog barks the loudest, right? And who do you hear talking about all this shit all the time? It's the fucking people that don't know shit about
exactly
the
like
they're running on about, and it's so loud and it's so out there that and people are so impressionable and they're too goddamn lazy to look into things themselves, so they just believe this horse shit that the dumb dogs are barking about. So
exactly, like people don't understand that. Okay, so in the United States we can own a 50 BMG, we can own a 50 cal rifle, but did you know that your 50 cal rifle is registered with the ATF? Did you know that it's registered with your local law enforcement and the FBI and the state police in the state in which you live with? Bet you didn't. You fucking do now.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that
stuff too, right? Sneaky shit.
There is.
Yeah,
and so, like, in order for me to own a suppressor in the United States, I have to get permission from my fucking sheriff in the county in which I fucking live in. When I got my first suppressor.
Yeah, consider that it's at least an option for you. Yeah, Yuke's right. This is not a dick waving contest, but
no,
it's not great for either one of us.
No, it's not.
Listen, these rights are eroding daily for both.
Correct.
It's like I said, it's simply a case of it being a sort of an extremely sensitive topic for us right now, given the velocity with which the gun control stuff has advanced in Canada lately. It's
absolutely,
and it's nobody standing up for us other than some of the gun rights orders, right? So
and that's the problem in the United States is people are so jaded by the fact of Joe Blow Clark, we're going right back to him, saying that, oh my God, assault weapons kill people. Yeah. Well, if I throw salt at you, I have assaulted you with salt. Does that make salt and assault salt? If I throw a fucking stick at you, I've assaulted you with a stick. Is that an assault stick? Well, no, it's a stick. And what the fuck's an assault rifle?
Well, scissors, pencil, fingernails, whatever. Yeah,
the list goes on and on and on and on.
But it's just a simple buzzword that elicits an emotional response. That's all it is. And
exactly, like
so many people that bite on that. And
absolutely, like you want to stop.
You can't necessarily help that we're surrounded by fucking idiots, and that's
exactly
that's what we have to deal with.
Like you want to, like everybody says, well, we have to do something to protect our children. Okay, I agree, but quit fucking making these school shooters out to be just this all-out victim, and quit putting their name on the fucking news, and quit idolizing fucking these assholes that go out and do this. Why do I need to know what the kid's name is in Tennessee that shot up that school? Like, why are we remembering that
Yeah.
asshole instead of the kid that got shot.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I part of me thinks it's a bit of a weak argument. I don't know. It shouldn't matter one way or the other. And maybe I'm missing something with that. But what I find really fascinating is, the proposal that we should have armed guards around schools, and that's been proposed many times, and people are just aghast with that. And oh, the children would be afraid, the teachers would be afraid, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, and I would be afraid going to pick up my child, and these kinds of stupid things. And yet those same fucking people have no problem walking into their bank or any other institution that has armed guards right there and has had for decades. That's just normal. Oh, they're needed there, I guess.
What?
And anything to protect a child, right? And there's armed guards at whatever parliamentary buildings, institutions, things like that, armed guards around high profile people, and that's all okay. And anything to protect a child, except put someone who's armed there to protect them from harm. It just blows my fucking mind.
Exactly. So the United States and Canada, in many regards, in retrospect to a lot of other countries within the world, like, yes, you have other countries like Britain, Sweden, Ireland, Australia, Austria, Switzerland, Rome, Greece, or Greece is in Rome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these other countries, but the United States and Canada, unless your child goes to a private school, there's not armed securities at it. But tell me why Israel has armored schools that are bomb-proof, and the United States and Canada, we leave the fucking doors unlocked. That's what I want to know. Like, if our kids are the future of everything, which they are in many regards, why are we more concerned about our fake money that's in a bank that can collapse tomorrow and you lose all this monopoly money that's been printed on fucking paper? You light it on fire, it fucking burns. Like, why is that more important than a child's life when it comes to protecting it? I'm not saying I'm for banning guns, like, by no stretch, but what I am saying is, how can we be more concerned about our money than we are putting armed guards at a school? I went to a school, dude, that had 17 armed private security people and 4 armed cops at it 24/7. Like 24/7, we had like 21 armed security personnel at our facility 24/7. I went to one of the most violent schools in Central Florida. But you know what we didn't have?
What's that?
We didn't have motherfuckers coming in there shooting up the fucking school.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what the answer is. Well, I do know what the answer is. The root cause of all this is
mental illness.
Well, and it's rewarding bad behavior. The rotten little shit kids that used to be kids are now grown-ups or near grown-ups. They don't know how to handle themselves. They don't know how to handle adversity. And all they know, when it's just like a small child. When I don't get my toy, or my brother took away my toy or whatever, I had a fit and I cried and I hit him. Now they have access to firearms by whatever means, and now they just feel justified in going shooting people because they're so fucking weak and fragile that they think they deserve to really hurt somebody badly. We need to start slapping fucking mouths.
No, I agree, dude. Like, but what can we do as a community to? Because what I think a lot of it is, in my opinion, and take this for what it is, there's been this facade that if you seek mental health, you're weak. Like, it's been beaten in your brain since you were a young kid. It's been beaten in my brain since I was a young kid. that if you seek mental health, like you're a weak human, blah 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 blah, you're a weak man, you're a weak woman, whatever.
Yeah.
But in all reality, some people just need fucking mental health.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of fear of if they do get help for some mental health condition, that they'll be labeled, and I think that is in some cases a legitimate fear. Because right on our applications for license, have you ever seen a psychologist, or are you on any antidepressants? So as soon as you go and admit that, somebody else knows about that, you're at risk, even if you're the otherwise the most stable person around. You're labeled, you're that person. So
It's the same within the United States.
yeah,
Like
no,
on our 4473,
all across, yeah.
And like, let's hypothetically speak right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use Joe Blow Bob again, whatever. Maybe Joe Blow Bob. I hope Joe Blow Bob is like a strong person tonight. Like, Joe Blow Bob says that, oh no, I've never been to a psych ward. I've never been under 72-hour admittance for suicide watch, whatever have you. Well, if his NICS check doesn't come back within 3 business days, I'm allowed to release said firearm to him. Will you come back to me on the 4th business day? Hey, did Joe Blow Bob get his firearm? Well, yeah. Well, why'd you give it to him? He's a psych patient. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, you're in charge of NICS, not me.
Yeah.
Like, all I get is a pass or delay.
Right. Yeah. All right, buddy.
And then they want to say irresponsible gun shops and shit.
Yeah.
And then they want to blame irresponsible gun shops, and like, it's not my problem that a government.
Yeah, that old trope about the gun show loophole, right? Well, all that ever was some shady dealer that just wanted to make a fucking sale. It wasn't as though he was like a gun runner kind of thing. It's just a backdoor fucking deal. And then the Democrats made that out to be a legal loophole. It just wasn't. It was people not abiding by the law.
The biggest loophole the Democrats ever did in the gun laws is the Brady Bill. I don't know if you know what the Brady Bill is.
No, I definitely know of it, but I can't recall what it is though.
So the Brady Bill is a 72-hour hold.
Okay.
So
right. You go and buy a firearm, and they check you out, and you're still not able to get it for 72 hours.
No, so like, let's say you redacted your citizenship from Canada and became a United States citizen. And so you come here, let's just say there's another rooster, just hypothetically used rooster.
Right.
And your social security number or import number, whatever you want to call it, from Canada to the United States, his number is one off. So you get held for further investigation by NICS, which is done by the FBI, which is a government-ran entity. And they fuck up and say, oh, well, they don't get back within 72 business hours, so 3 days. I'm allowed to release this firearm to you under Brady Bill. Now, every state's a little bit different. I think like New Jersey is 10 days. I think Illinois is like 5.
Sure.
Yeah,
whatever.
It varies state by state, but federally, it's only 72 hours. And so,
interesting.
Like, but after that 72 hours,
a little more onerous than that. That's
no,
kind of wild. Yeah.
No, it all comes back to NICS and the FBI. Like I love when anti-gunners say, "Well, you don't have to do a background check through the FBI." Who runs NICS?
Yeah, right.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, it is the Kentucky State Police that runs the Kentucky division of NICS.
Okay.
However, the Kentucky State Police is equivalent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Sure.
Within Kentucky.
Right. Huh.
So
interesting. All right,
yeah,
Bender. I'm sick of listening to your dogs, so we're gonna wrap this up.
All right. Be safe, brother.
You're signing off?
Yeah, I'll let you go.
Yeah, thanks for helping out, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, yes, sir. Be careful, dude.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. All right, everybody, that'll do it for tonight. If you haven't already, check us out on facebook.com/BS podcast. Let us know how we do. Please don't say too much about tonight's show. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at info@bspodcast.ca. I'll answer all the annealing questions you have. I'd also like to thank all our sponsors. We couldn't do this without you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here for us week after week. We're talking about Shane and Steve with EM Precision Rifles, Miles, Carey, and Cappy with call sign 66, Duncan and Rob at Bolt Action Coffee, Phil Odell at Odell Engineering, Doug and Niza with March Scopes Canada, Vanya and Carly with Apex Optics, Oscar with Ribstone Gunsmithing, and J.R. Cox with the Shooting Edge. And of course, with all of those people that I just mentioned, there are also a lot of people in the background that we'd like to thank as well. All right, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for showing up. And we'll
sorry about the barking dogs.
Hopefully have a little bit better organized show for you next week. We'll see you later.
Because I have a shotgun and rifle that I use for, and 22 gauge that I use for ptarmigan, moose, and black bear.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS. Ballistically Speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.